After all the online talk about Las Vegas getting too expensive, something hit me. The real tragedy isn't the price. It's that we have at least 12 magical things we will never see again in Las Vegas, and that we've lost the Vegas that made us feel a certain way. The feeling that anyone, no matter their wallet size, could feel like a high roller. I'm here to remember, to take you back to a city that believed everyone deserved to feel important. Join me as we count down 12 magical things we'll never see again in Las Vegas. These aren't just things we've lost. They are symbols of a city soul. And I promise you, what we've uncovered for number 1 will be a feeling you thought was gone forever. Number 12, the free comedy clubs. Vegas used to have a strong tradition of free, high-quality comedy clubs. They were a great place to see a rising star or a comedy legend. They were a perfect way for a casino to get you in the door and keep you laughing. The atmosphere was intimate, the drinks were cheap, and the roar of laughter was a constant hum on the casino floor. It was a place where you could discover a new talent, see a legend trying out new material, or just spend a few hours laughing with friends, all for the price of a couple cocktails. Now, almost every comedy club in Vegas has a cover charge and a 2-drink minimum, making them a much more expensive experience. The intimacy is gone, replaced by a much more corporate, much more expensive, and much less accessible experience. The free spirit is gone, and a night out has become a much more expensive affair. The laughter is still there, but it's no longer for everyone. Number 11, the era of cheap non-club drinks. This wasn't just a detail. It was a pillar of the old Las Vegas experience. There was a time not so long ago when you could walk into almost any lounge or casino bar and get a cheap, well-made cocktail for just a few dollars. The drinks were strong, the atmosphere was relaxed, and the philosophy was simple. Keep the customer happy and keep them on the casino floor. This was the era of the classic casino lounge, a smoky room with red velvet booths, the gentle clink of ice, and the buzz of conversation. It was a place where you could sit for hours sipping a gin and tonic and feel like you were part of the action without having to spend a fortune. Now, the lounges of old have been almost entirely replaced by high-priced nightclubs. The quiet elegance is gone, replaced by pounding bass, VIP ropes, and bottle service. A night out in Vegas has become a transaction built around exclusivity and expense. The cheap, fun cocktails are gone, and a night out has become a much more expensive affair, a place where a single drink can cost you more than an entire night out once did. Number 10, the 99-cent shrimp cocktail. For decades, nothing said Vegas quite like a chilled glass of shrimp cocktail for under $1. Tourists lined up at places like the Golden Gate Casino on Fremont Street, where from 1959 until the early 1990s, you could get a heaping glass of shrimp cocktail overflowing for just 99 cents. It wasn't fancy, but it was legendary. Why did it matter so much? Because it was more than food. It was a promise. Vegas promised you could indulge, feel luxurious, and still afford it. Today you can still find shrimp cocktails in Vegas, but they're marketed as upscale appetizers, not as a democratic delight for the masses. When the 99-cent shrimp cocktail disappeared, Vegas lost one of its most powerful equalizers. Number 9, free legendary lounge acts. Imagine this. It's 1972. You've just had a $1.99 prime rib buffet, and now you're wandering into a casino lounge. No ticket, no cover charge, maybe just the price of a drink. The lights dim, the stage glows, and suddenly you're 5 feet away from Tom Jones, or maybe Elvis dropping by after his main show, or Sammy Davis Jr. cracking jokes with the band. In Las Vegas's golden era, legends didn't just perform, they mingled with you. The lounge act was the city's secret weapon. While the main showrooms hosted ticketed productions, the lounges were open spaces where casinos gave away world-class entertainment for free. Why? Because the casinos knew something modern Vegas has forgotten. Happy people stay longer, gamble more, and tell their friends to come back. Today, that spontaneity has been replaced by schedules, wristbands, and VIP packages. Number 8, the Las Vegas Showgirl. There was a time when Las Vegas had a face, and that face was framed by feathers, sequins, and rhinestones. The showgirl wasn't just a performer. She was an icon, a living symbol of glamour, beauty, and daring spectacle. When people thought of Vegas in the mid-20th century, they didn't imagine skyscrapers or LED billboards. They pictured towering headdresses, sparkling costumes, and women who seemed plucked from another world. The showgirl era began in the late 1950s and exploded through the 1960s and 70s. Shows like the legendary Jubilee at Bally's drew millions of visitors. But by the 1990s and early 2000s, tastes were changing. Younger visitors wanted DJs, nightclubs, and cirque acrobatics rather than traditional cabaret. Slowly, the feathers were packed away. Jubilee, the last true showgirl spectacular, closed its curtains in 2016 after 35 years. And with that, a chapter closed. Number 7, free parking everywhere. This wasn't just a perk, it was a philosophy. You could drive across the desert, headlights bouncing off the neon glow of the strip, pull into a grand casino entrance, and pay nothing. It was Vegas's way of saying, "You're welcome here. Stay as long as you want." For decades, free parking wasn't just a perk. It was a hospitality investment. Now, starting around 2016, major resorts began charging $10, $20, sometimes even $30 just to leave your car in a garage. Suddenly, that warm welcome turned into a cold transaction. The old Vegas understood that if people feel nickel and dimed before they play, they'll play less. The new Vegas, run by corporate spreadsheets, seems to have forgotten that. Number 6, the Mafia's personal touch. When people think of old-school Las Vegas, the word Mafia immediately comes up. And yes, mobsters were deeply involved in building the Vegas Strip. They skimmed profits, they ruled with intimidation, and it wasn't exactly honest business. But here's the twist. Many longtime visitors and workers will tell you that under the mob, Vegas felt more personal. Why? Because the mob understood loyalty. They didn't see tourists as numbers on a spreadsheet. They saw them as guests whose happiness kept the casino alive. Generosity wasn't a favor. It was the business model. The warm handshake of a pit boss who remembered your name was replaced by loyalty cards and email marketing campaigns. The corporatization of Vegas cleaned up the crime. But in scrubbing away the danger, it also scrubbed away the soul. Number 5, the $1.99 buffet. I'm talking about a time when you could walk into a neon-lit casino at midnight and be greeted by a sign that feels almost unreal. All-you-can-eat buffet, $1.99. This wasn't just food. This was Vegas's way of saying, "Welcome. Stay a while." The real fun is on the casino floor. The cheap buffet was what economists call a loss leader. Casinos didn't make money on that mountain of prime rib or endless shrimp. In fact, they often lost money. But they didn't care because the buffet wasn't about profit. It was about psychology. Feed the people, make them happy, and they'll stick around. Today, buffets are either gone or transformed into luxury dining halls charging $60, $70, or even $100 per person. What once said, "You belong here," now whispers, "This is only for those who can afford it." Number 4, comps for everyone. There was once a time when the word comps didn't just mean VIP high rollers getting sweets and champagne. In old Las Vegas, comps were for everyone. Picture this. You're sitting at a nickel slot machine spinning for fun. A cocktail waitress brings you a free drink. Maybe you get handed a voucher for a free buffet, or even offered a discounted room just because you've been playing a while. You didn't need to be a millionaire, a celebrity, or a corporate whale. You just needed to be present. The philosophy was simple. Treat every customer like a guest of honor. It was rooted in the mob era, but the philosophy of hospitality lasted long after. Pit bosses would walk the floor not just to keep order, but to shake hands, smile, and quietly slip you a comp if they liked the cut of your jib. It made you feel seen, appreciated, and most importantly, valued. That warm handshake has since been replaced by cold data. Number 3. Ask anyone who visited Las Vegas in its golden years, and they'll tell you, it wasn't just the gambling, the food, or the shows. It was the electric possibility in the air. Vegas felt like the one place on earth where the impossible could suddenly become real. You might be at a blackjack table when a celebrity slides into the seat next to you. You might wander into a lounge and find a superstar performing for free. or watch a stranger hit a jackpot and buy the entire bar a round of drinks. The city pulsed with spontaneity. Fortune, fame, or at least an unforgettable story always felt just around the corner. But over time, that unpredictability was stripped away. Corporate efficiency smoothed out the rough edges, and the Strip became a machine. Tickets, wristbands, reservations, security checkpoints. Today, the surprise factor, the magic of the unexpected, is gone. Number 2. Before the Strip was lined with cookie-cutter luxury hotels, Vegas had personality. The first thing that made the city magical wasn't just the gambling, it was the theming. Step into Caesar's Palace in the 1970s, and you weren't just placing bets. You were walking into ancient Rome, cross the street, and suddenly you're in the Wild West at the Frontier or under the Big Top at Circus Circus. Every casino was a stage set, a fantasy. Vegas wasn't selling rooms. Vegas was selling escapism. But then something changed. As the corporations moved in, the philosophy shifted. Quirky themes gave way to sterile marble lobbies, designer boutiques, and velvet ropes outside nightclubs. The magic slowly drained out. Today, too many casinos look the same. Sleek, expensive, polished. But missing that spark that made Las Vegas feel like another world. Number 1, at the heart of old Las Vegas. The real magic wasn't the cheap buffets, the free parking, or even the neon. It was a philosophy, a way of doing business built on one simple idea. Above all else, take care of the guest. From the 1950s through the 1990s, this wasn't just marketing. It was the business model. Casinos knew the real profit didn't come from nickel and diming you. It came from making you feel like the most important person in the room, like a high roller, no matter what was in your wallet. That philosophy built loyalty. It built memories. It created the magic that made Las Vegas unlike anywhere else on earth. But today, that soul is gone, replaced by corporate efficiency, revenue optimization, and endless fees. The belief that every guest deserved an unforgettable experience has vanished. And here's the truth. No billion-dollar LED sphere, no polished luxury suite, no choreographed spectacle can ever replace the magic of genuine hospitality. Las Vegas may have changed, the skyline taller, the lights brighter, and the casinos more corporate. But the heart of the city, the stories, the laughter, and the small, unforgettable moments, they live on. For those who were there, every memory is a keepsake, a spark of magic that time cannot take away. And for those who never saw it firsthand, these glimpses remind us of what truly mattered. The warmth of a smile, the excitement of being alive in a city that promised possibility, and the humanity behind every game and performance. A little more kindness, a little more hospitality, and yes, a little less corporate greed might just make every city shine a bit brighter. Now, I want to hear from you. What is the one thing you miss the most about the old Las Vegas? That one moment that made you feel alive, connected, or just human? Share it in the comments below, and together, let's build an archive of what we've lost, but can still remember.